Hey, hi. I'm Raleigh Brown. This is another curve flattening concert, and I welcome you in. Steve DeHaas was the first man in on YouTube, and then followed rapidly by Rhonda Scott Merrick, Donna Greenberg, Steve Walker, Tom Dietz, Slim Edelman, Charlie Bryant, Amy Roche, Kathy Marzik, Donna Zach Beal. Folks are checking in. It is a damp, not horrible, but not really great day. Kind of drizzling all day long. Rick and I had a discussion about whether we call this. I said it's not really raining; it's just kind of spitting. And then as we're walking the dogs he had his big umbrella. I have my hood on. He says, "So this is not raining, huh?" So what are you gonna do? So let me catch up here. Zach Beal, Pam Zappardino is here, and Warren and Janelle, Linda Worster, Dave Mason in Scotland, Howard Hobbs, and Charlotte Cantrell. So good to see you all. So I thought today I would actually. I feel like mostly I use this Martin guitar for drop D stuff, and I decided I'm not really giving it its due, so it's gonna be my guitar for today. We'll talk about it a little bit during the break, as we usually do, and it's really quite a guitar. It's got some real tough competition living in my house, but it stands up to the test. So let me cloink you. I'm drinking really high test coffee today. So here's to you all cloinking. Oh yeah. And I think if I move just a little bit farther back, it would be a good camera setup here. And then I want to do I'm going to do a little test. You guys get to vote. Okay, so here I have two flat picks. One of them is a really thick pick designed for gypsy jazz, and the other one is a thickish bluegrass pick. If I put them together, I'm wondering if I can get them close enough to the camera so you can see how much thicker one is than the other. I'm not sure you can actually see. Anyhow, you guys get to vote which one of these sounds better. So first I'm going to try strumming a little bit with both of them. That's the white pick. That's the black pick. Then I'm going to just play a little bit of melody with both of them. Here's the white pick. Here's the black pick. Okay, so cast your votes, and then if there's a clear winner, then I will use that. I'm not using it. Well, actually, I might use it on the first tune. So Slim said black sounded better. Charlie Bryant was for Team Black. Bunny Barnes, black. Rhonda Scott Merrick said black. Warren Bendler and Janelle said black, or Janelle, I don't know which one. Okay, well, it looks like black is the clear winner here. Black is more melodic, says Steve Walker. Black is crisper, says Audrey. Kitsarikaku, always the contrariest, says white. Howard Hobbs says black. And Don Zach Beal says Black Linda Worst. Okay, that's interesting. Now this pick, I'm going to see if I can get closer to the camera with it. It is, it's about the thickness of a Necco wafer. Like you can probably see how thick it is by the part that has a little bit of a glare on it. Whereas the other pick is the kind of thickness you normally think of a guitar pick being. If I get it at its narrowest, it's pretty thin there. Anyhow, so I think what it comes to, I think this one is 2.5 millimeters, the black one, and this one is like maybe 1.25 or 1.3 maybe millimeters, or maybe just 1 millimeter. So this is actually twice as thick, the black one, and I normally think of it as something I would use for playing gypsy jazz, so that if you were playing this kind of, but you guys like it, so I'm going to use it, and it's easier to play with because it's so thick. It goes over the strings easier, and there's less. A lot of times when people learn to flat pick, the hardest thing is getting the upstrokes, because the pick kind of catches on the way up, but this one doesn't. So this is a win-win situation. We're going to put the white pick away for right now, and we'll use the black one. I don't think the color has anything to do with the sound. It's just that I happen to have a black one, and they're both made by the same guy, by this guy, Michael Wagan. I think it's Michael. Anyhow, before we start the music, there's one more thing. So earlier today, my buddy Rick texted me. We were talking about whether we were going to bother to go for a walk at lunch because it was raining out. And he sent me a text saying, Maxie doesn't seem terribly interested. And he sent me this picture of Maxie. So I quickly turned around and took a snap with my camera and sent it back and said, yeah, Charlie doesn't really feel like it either. So there they are. And that I tried to get the sizes about right. Charlie is substantially bigger than Maxie. It may be a little too big for her in this picture, but that's Maxie, the mini Burner Doodle, and Charlie, the Cattle Dog Cross. And there they are for you. So they're just taking it easy. Charlie right now, there he is. He's over on the other side of the room in a very similar posture to this. So. Okay, so we did the pick test, we did the dog pictures, we cloinked. And Charlie Bryan says he uses a Dunlop 2.0 millimeters. Yeah, it's a little thinner than this one, but it's up there too. So I think we're gonna get some. People are going to share their pick preferences here, which is good. That's fine. Now, you may have noticed that yesterday was the 62nd anniversary of the release of the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. And the second song on that album, I don't know what the first one was, but the second song was this, and it's really been a favorite of mine ever since I learned it way back then. It's really a wonderful love song, and well, if you're traveling to the North Country Fair, where the wind hits heavy on the borderline, remember me to one who lives there, for she once was a true love of mine. if you go when the snowflakes storm, when the rivers freeze and summer ends, please see she has a coat so warm to keep her from them howling winds. And please see that her hair's hanging down. It rolls and flows all down her breast. Please see for me that her hair's hanging down, for that's the way I remember her the best. Well, I'm wondering if she remembers me at all. Many times I've often prayed in the darkness of my night, and in the brightness of my day. Well, if you're traveling to the North Country Fair, where the river wind hits heavy on the borderline, remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Girl from the North Country by Bob Dylan. That is a song that will live for a long time. It's already lived for 62 years. So next up, this is a Mose Allison tune by way of Steve Mann. And I actually play pretty close to Steve's arrangement on this one. You know, everybody I know who ever met Steve wanted to play like him. The possible exception of Bromberg, who already played like him. But, you know, there was something about Steve's style that people heard it and they just went, wow, I want to play like that. So this is a Mose Allison tune called If You Live. I'm going to back up a little and say hi to some more people. Deb Huxtable is here, my dear friend, the wife of my dear, dear, dear friend, Chris Reitz. And Keith Shaw, Charlie Brown, Ginger Hopper, Jim Greco is here. I've said hi to Kit Serikaku, Pam Zappardino, S.A. Tudhope, hi S.A. Connie Adams is here on YouTube because she's still suspended on Facebook. And I said hi to Kathy Marzik and Robin Gray. I think I've covered. Mike Verbeek is here. He says good doggies. That was probably from when I put up those doggy pictures. I think that's about covers. Oh, Steve DeHaas went with white. Well, you just never know. They're both, you know, I don't hear too much difference between the different picks, but anyhow, and Kit said white, black, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there we go. Anyhow, I said hi to all you guys, and I've spent a lot of time talking here, so I will get playing. Well, if you live, your time will come. If you live, your will come. So girl, don't you play with that cotton sack. It's gonna scrape your knees and bend your back. And if you live, your time will come. And if you live, your day will come. If you live, your day will come. So girl, don't you play with those pots and pans. They're gonna sure enough ruin your pretty hands. And if you live, your day will come. Yes, if you live, a day will come. If you live, a day will come when the sun will shine and the crops will grow. You'll think that you don't have to worry no more. But if you live, your day will come. If You Live by Mose Allison, kind of put through the special Steve Mann filter. And that's, I was going to say, it's announcement time. And one of the things I don't think I've mentioned, normally when I teach at a guitar camp, I'm asked to teach maybe one kind of advanced course and one kind of intermediate course. I've learned over the years that an advanced course is what seems like intermediate to me. Like for even people who define themselves as advanced, when they take a course like that, an intermediate course is challenging for them. So this year, Patty Domeniconi, who's the wonderful, brilliant director of Sam W. of Summer Acoustic Music Week, said, this year, Raleigh, we want you to do a genuinely advanced class, even if you don't have many students in it. We just want to offer that for the really good guitarists who come to camp, and there are a bunch of them, and who never get, they always feel like they're not quite getting something that really pushes them. And so I decided to do a week-long camp on Steve Mann. And we'll do If You Live, we'll do Holly, we'll do Drown in My Own Tears, we'll do the 99-Year Blues, we'll do Charlie James. So that's a song a day. Man, we're not going to get through all of those. It might take 3 days just to get through that break on If You Live. So anyhow, that will be my Sam W. this year, and then I'm teaching a course on improvisation, which will be more intermediate or even beginner. And that's July 13th through the 19th at Geneva Point Center in Moultonboro, New Hampshire, on Lake Winnipesaukee. You can find out more. I think it's full, but you can always find out more by going to WUMB. That's the University of Massachusetts at Boston radio station, WUMB.org, and look at camps, and then go to week 1, which is the week I teach during. Also, before that, in just a couple weeks, I will be at Steve Kaufman's camp in Maryville, Tennessee, and I'll be concentrating on the Reverend Gary Davis at that one, which, that's a normal advanced course for me. I think of the playing as kind of intermediate, but it'll be advanced for the students, And that's June 8th through the 13th. I'm pretty sure there's still room in that one. And then I'll be at Old Songs with Magpie, Old Songs Festival in Altamont, New York, June 27th through 29th. I'll be playing backup guitar primarily there with Magpie. And you could find out about that by just Googling Old Songs Festival. So there's that. That's the schedule. There are Invisibles here, perhaps. George Young might be here. Judith Fox, Mario Prue, and Joel Biget, and maybe some other Invisibles who are invisible to me. There is a PayPal link, as there always is here, and a Venmo link. I appreciate, Charlie and I both appreciate. How can I get my hand to point straight like that? There. Charlie and I appreciate contributions. It makes us feel valued, and we can always use the cash, if you know what I mean. But always glad to receive those, but they're never expected of you, you know, especially if you figure that you're not as wealthy as a guitarist slash acupuncturist slash Tai Chi teacher slash. Then just hold on to your money, and we'll make do here. From each, according to their what is it John Kennedy said? I think he said from each according to their ability, to each according to their need, or something like that. Anyhow, I why am I dwelling on money? I don't know. And then my third category here is the guitars. So this guitar is my 12-year-old Martin OM18 Authentic. It's based on a guitar owned by my friend Fred Oster of Vintage Instruments, which was a 1933 OM18 orchestra model built by Martin. And the 18 series is mahogany back and sides. And you can kind of see that that's what that is. And spruce top. And back in these days, it had an ebony fingerboard. And so this is a reproduction. A modern 18 will usually have a rosewood fingerboard, in case you're keeping score. But this guitar has really, it came sounding really nice right out of the box, but it has opened up beautifully over the 12 years I've had it. And it has it's not as powerful as the Prue or the Pre-War Guitars Company guitar, but it has a warmth and a resonance to it when you're actually playing it that is its own special thing. It's not better than those. Big moan from Charlie over there. It's not better than those guitars, but in its way, it's just as good. So I'm glad to have it. Glad to have it here. Let me do a little quick thing. I see Rita Rubin, my dear friend, is here. We've been talking about talking, but we haven't succeeded at doing that yet. And Charlotte Cantrell says, lovely Steve tribute. Charlotte Cantrell went to high school around the same time with Steve Mann. And Deb Libby Clark is here, and Mike Verbeck, I said hi. Trying not to miss anybody. I think that's it. I think I said hi to everyone. I said hi to Ginger Hopper and Greco. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we're doing fine. So the schedule I am on right now, I believe tomorrow night Helen Avakian and David Irwin will be on. And as I said, we had a ball when they came and visited. We just didn't have enough time, unfortunately. And then Friday, I believe, judging from what she said at the end of her concert last week, Friday will be Bunny will be doing her forfer at 4 o'clock, and Slim Edelman will be doing his concert at 3:30. And he said the topic is kind of anything goes. I think he's really busy, like he just said here. He's backing up 3 different songwriters. So he's just going to dig into his song bag and pull out whatever he feels like playing, I think. And then on Saturday, Warren Bendler will be doing his concert, and that's always good, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I'll be back on Sunday at 10:30, and that'll be I'll be doing Sunday, and I'll be doing next Wednesday, and then I'll be off to Kaufman Camp, and there won't be any concerts for a few days, for a week or two. I'll probably be back by the next Sunday because I get back on Saturday. So there'll just be one Sunday and one Wednesday I'll be going there. Okay. That's all I can tell you about that, and that's the schedule, and that brings us to our next tune for today. And this tune is another great favorite of mine. And I always I've played it on every guitar I've ever owned, I'm sure, but I always kind of think, like when I first heard it, I heard it by Bert Jansch's version, and on that first album that was released in the United States, I'm not sure what Bert was actually playing when he recorded it, but the pictures on the album cover had him playing a Martin, probably a Triple O or OM-28, and so it always seems to sound really good on this Martin guitar. Angie. Angie by Bert Jansch. And those of you who are Angie aficionados and have heard me play it a lot of times, like Bunny especially, may notice that I've changed the chords a little bit on it. That when Bert recorded it when he was young, which is the version which has always just grabbed me and held me tight, he just kind of keeps the shape. But in later years, when he was much older, he switched over to going from this A minor shape on the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. He went to an E minor. So instead of going it went. And at first I was very resistant to that because I like the old way. But over the years I've kind of come to like that. So I've been trying to integrate that in, and I think it's gonna I can do it both ways. I don't have to go all the way through just one way. Anyhow, that's your little guitar lesson for today. And I have one more tune for you here, and this is a kind of love song that I wrote, and it maybe means as much to me as "Girl from the North Country" meant to young Bob Dylan. I don't know. Since you're gone, I think of you up there in the great beyond, or who knows where. And now and then I say hello, but if you hear, you never let me know. Up where you are, time never ends, but way down here I'm losing friends. Here on earth, nothing stays the same. We're here and gone, like tears in rain. Here and gone, like tears in rain. Another friend, another loss. We give our love, we pay the cost. He leaves the stage, we say goodbye, and we're left here to wonder why. Up where you are, time never ends, but way down here I'm losing friends. Here on earth, nothing stays the same. We're here and gone, like tears in rain. Here and gone, like tears in rain. I know someday my time will come, a gust of wind, and I'll be gone. And though I don't know how or when, I like to think that I'll see you then. Up where you are, time never ends, but way down here I'm losing friends. Here on earth, nothing stays the same. We're here and gone, like tears in rain. Here and gone, like tears in rain. Tears in Rain. It's actually a love song to all the people we've lost as time goes on. I wrote it when David Surratt passed away. And there's been more since then. But let's not end on a downer note. I thank you as always for joining me. I love you guys, and I'm going to show that love by remembering by remembering to do the mantra. So here it is for you. Be happy and be healthy. Be brave and be calm. Be kind. It's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. If you get cranky, you know what to do. Take good care. See you soon. Charlie says hello.